why is there such a narrow focus regarding competencies? Click here the subscribe button, set up the alert. If the content of this video is useful for you, let us know by clicking the like button. So what do I mean by this video? It's like narrow focus regarding competencies. What ends up happening in many cases is that a business may have competencies that are centered around the technical expertise, sometimes of the founders, sometimes of the engineering team or something like that. And I've seen many cases where people pride themselves for being creative and solving multiple layers of different problems. Oh, we have all these capabilities. We're able to solve this problem, but we are also able to solve this other problem for this other client. It's that belief that we are great problem solvers. What ends up happening is something very interesting, because you see there is a difference between the internal focus. It's like, okay, I know I'm great at solving problems. That is great if the other side is looking for a generic problem solver, which is rarely the case. Usually they have one specific pain that they want to go away, or they have one specific opportunity that they want to pursue. And just like somebody who's looking for a very specific tool, if they go to a shop to buy tools, they will look for that specialized tool that does perform that specialized function, right? Not necessarily a very flexible tool that have 12 functions, but like if they're very focused on one problem, they want the one tool that can be the solution for that one problem. So, and some people tend to not think in these terms, especially, I think this is especially true for people who have a very deep passion for what they do. So I've come across several times in my career, people that started with a relatively technical focus in what they do, and they do that very well, and they start over time to branch out a little bit within that general area of expertise, right? But they say, yeah, we're really good at this problem, but this problem also has this other nuance, then we can solve that problem too. This other problem has the other nuance. So it is like this big problem solver mindset. In one hand, it's fantastic because that displays a commitment to solve real problems and a great creativity and intelligence to put that technical skill to work. Sometimes we can get lost in our own thoughts and keep going too far in one direction that we care more about than a lot of other people, right? So I've seen many situations where the client sometimes doesn't even need such a robust solution. They just need something much simpler. And we say, oh yeah, but that's not going to solve your problem. Well, if they come to realize that their problem is bigger, then yes, we can offer something more robust. But if all they want is something very simple, they're not going to spend more money to buy something that seems to be more intricate and more complicated, right? So this narrow focus on competencies comes from a world where everybody's very busy. People don't have time for anything. They get hundreds, tens of emails every day. There's a lot of competition for attention. And when we believe that other people are interested to walk through our elaborate rationale, we are perhaps overestimating how much attention we have from the other side. We need to pound specifically on one thing. Oh, is this a problem for you? I have the solution. But again, we cannot keep guessing if that's a problem for the other side or not. We have to ask people what their problems are, or we have to get that by observation, by listening to them, be constantly having our ears on the ground, understanding what the reality on the other side is. So it's not about displaying a very powerful universe of capabilities. Oh, we are good at that, we can solve problems, we're great at execution, we can work in very challenging environments, we are resourceful, we have great quality, we have low price. That is all fantastic. But again, is that addressing what may be our blind spot, which is the client has one specific pain that we may not be speaking to that pain directly? I mean, because if we're trying to impress our client by our overall capability of how much stuff we have to do, they have to have a little bit of faith. They say, yeah, I have this one problem here, and these guys are good at all these other things. So of course they're going to be good at this one problem too, right? That's the way we think. The client, though, may think about something different. They say, yeah, this is my problem, and the guy's demonstrating capability all around it here, but I don't need all that. I only need this. Oh, but this they don't have. So what we would like them to do is to draw a parallel and say, hey, if you guys are so good about all these, you're going to be good about this very specific, smaller problem that I have too. But that's not how people think. People will think, well, you're offering me stuff I don't need. You don't understand exactly what my problem is. No, it's not, don't tell me about all these other things that you've done. When people have one specific pain, that's all they can think about, right? Think about you when you have like some tooth pain, right? Or that pain in the teeth that is kind of just stabbing, or a splitting headache, that's all you can think about. If somebody comes and say, hey, use this new body lotion, is going to make your skin less dry. I'm like, okay, that would be nice, but like my freaking headache is what's killing me right now. So it's like when people have some pain, that's what they tend to focus on. And that's why we should use that as a sales opportunity and not trying to convince people that we can do backflips and do all these other things that it may not be important to them at that time. We should not be emphasizing necessarily that we're great at solving problems that the client doesn't have. Oh, but of course they have the problem. Well, says who? Do they know that they have the problem? Because in many cases, they may not even agree that they have that problem. They say, oh yeah, but you will see. So it's different when we're talking about early adopters. Early adopters, when they are our clients, they tend to be two things. They tend to be more curious, and they tend to take more risks. They say, oh yeah, of course, wow. They tend to be more strategic, right? And they say, yeah, this would be a great thing. Yeah, I will need this. So early adopters are great to buy a product for that is something new that we're offering, even if they didn't realize they had that problem. Right? They're early adopters. They want to take care of it before anybody else. But most people, though, they're followers. Most people will follow what the market is doing. Well, has my neighbor bought this? Does this other business, my competitor, are they also using this? Is the other guy also using this? So it's more about social proof and validation. People will want to know that other people are already buying before they buy from you. So that will only happen if you are able to show that you're solving that specific problem for this neighbor, for the other competitor and all that. Then they say, oh, I get it. Hey, they understand obviously my problem because they're already solving this specific problem for all these other people that are around me. They're just like me. And if they are buying this thing to make their lives easier, probably should do the same. So it's about social validation sometimes, right? So it's not about emphasizing everything we're good at. It's just focusing on that one little thing that the client considers that it's important to them. And so if all this seems to be a little bit too complicated, don't worry. Click here in the link of the description. There are several ways that help is available to you, like materials you can read or you can watch, or a group you can participate where you're going to be joined by other people like you that are in this journey to build a success here in Canada, right? So there is help all around you. Just click here in the link to see the details of it. Okay, so how can you showcase your capabilities then if you are indeed good at solving problems? If you are indeed good at solving a larger array of problems and you don't want to be focusing just on one thing? Well, it's very simple, right? Do your homework by asking them what's important to them, because I can guarantee after some time, by being creative and solving a multitude of problems, you will have reliable, valid, proven track record in what you have done over time that maps very close to the situation of your client. But we need to understand what they want first. We need to have their ear first. You don't come with our arsenal of arguments and to start to tell them why they should talk to us or why they should buy something from us. Oh yeah, because what about this? What about that? A lot of people don't like to take other people's ideas. They like to say, oh, I was looking for that. Good thing you showed up. That's the ideal sales call, right? So that's why we like to spend more time understanding the problem that the client has or the potential client has, understanding that we already know how to solve that problem and we have several real life examples to give them. And then we say, do you have this problem too? Or what problem do you have? You have this problem? Oh, great. We just solved this problem for your neighbor. Come on board. By the way, it's really cheap, right? It's about social proof in a lot of cases. Like the importance of having success cases. So it's two things. First, you understand, do your homework by listening to the client and understanding, because what we may believe it's important to them, what's really important to them may be a little bit different. They may be buying for different reasons. Oh, I buy because of this. And I say, oh, really? I thought you bought because of that, right? So let's understand what's important to the client and let's map that to real success cases that we were able to generate over time. The final thing I want to mention too that cannot be forgotten is that we have to demonstrate corporate readiness to respond to their needs, right? Do they need 24 hours access? Do they need a phone number to call with questions? What do they need? In this research that we are doing to ask the market or the potential client what's important to them, it's important that we understand too, it's like, okay, what's your expectation? If you buy this from us, what do you expect from us, right? I mean, the more we have this type of conversations, then we are able to build a robust sales process with a robust infrastructure that makes the decision to buy from us very easy, and people are going to be loyal customers for a long time because we listen to them and we're giving them what they believe it's important to them. And we do that very well in a replicable way, right? So there's a few other videos here around this topic that are helpful to you.